What is up, people? Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Cup Chasers. We are live and direct coming at you after the Carabao Cup Chaos. The Mickey Mouse Cup has offered up some wonderful games today, and I was certainly excited to watch. I had 3 different screens going, trying to catch all the different games, all the action. Of course, we will be getting into it, and the Premier League is back at the weekend. So we're going to preview all of that. And before we do, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Of course, thanks for being here. Get that notification bell on and hype it up. Do the hype thing. I've hyped some videos, so I kind of sort of saw what that is, but hopefully it helps the algorithm. So go ahead and do that as well. We certainly appreciate it. All right. I think it's only right that we start with the freight train that just continues to roll right on down the tracks. I will touch on the Palace game, but we're going to go in reverse order today. I think we could start with the game today. A lot of teams we saw in the Carabao Cup were doing some rotation. Y'all didn't play Holland. I don't know if he came on. I didn't see the end of yours. As I said, I was switching through screens. But I think that obviously Liverpool did a whole lot of changing their team, and it cost them today. I didn't know what to expect from Arteta, but I did expect to see some rotation. And I think it's awesome that it was like a half rotated team. Played a striker that I'm not gonna say I knew very much about. I think I had heard of him before once or twice. Anus is his last name, and 17-year-old getting a debut in the team. Max Dowman played. He's 15. He's just signed the what do they call it? The scholarship contract or whatever, like the young kids contract.
Yeah,
that kind of like rolls into your first team contract when you are of age. But we were able to get the job done. I thought that Brighton definitely realized how disjointed we were in the beginning, but that was because literally the midfield had never played together, like started a game together, and the back four we lined up with had never started a game together. But even still, it was all 4 of the backups, right? And I thought Hincapié and Mosquera in the center were fantastic. It's just really cool to see your team heavily rotated to the subs and, the next tier of the squad, and it be a similar performance,
Well,
like
I think the thing is that what you're looking for is the depth, and I think that's good. I mean, they met the challenge of the day.
Yeah, and in the beginning, it was a challenge for sure because Brighton realized that Norgard and Marino hadn't quite really worked out the spacing and the rotation. And in the first 20 minutes, Ranieri was kind of nowhere to be found because they didn't really know, the right spaces to be in relative to each other. Because, like I say, they had never played together, and so Brighton played through us a few times in the beginning, and we struggled in the first half, but we defended well. Like I say, Hincapié came in versus Palace and had a great cameo. It was like 7 or 8 minutes, but he was really strong, and so got the start today, and I thought he was fantastic. Mosquera as well definitely was fantastic. But, in the end, obviously I want to speak on the open play goals, but like I say, it's just we haven't seen depth like this. We've seen, Wenger bring in bodies, bring in people, randoms that you may have never heard of, but, and then maybe not get the job done because that Wenger was definitely accused and criticized for not being, not trying to ever win this tournament. That's why we haven't won it since 1993. And normally when we bring these people in, you're like, okay, if we take an L here in the Mickey Mouse Cup, we can just say, okay, we played the youngsters, we played the teens, tried to get some minutes for bit part players, and we didn't win, whatever. Today it's like same thing. We brought in people who aren't getting minutes, and once we figured it out at halftime, the first 15 minutes of the second half, we were a lot better. He obviously told Nwaneri to get on the ball more, to be more active, more expansive, and his influence was there to be seen immediately in the second half. And we improved. And then, Brighton are not the team to necessarily put every single player behind the ball. They like to try to play out themselves. And so we found some space. Eze beat a man, and we put together, like, before they even knew what was happening, a Marino back heel, a one-time cross. It's in the back of the net. It was a beautiful goal. I don't know if you saw the highlights, but that goal was absolutely fantastic. And it was not from a free kick nor from a corner kick.
Yeah, I'm checking them out now because I'm looking at the numbers because, obviously I watched a different game.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the second goal was from open play as well. Well worked down the right. Timber. That's another thing. We were able to bring in Declan Rice, Timber, Gabriel, and Saka as the subs. And so at 1-0, Brighton after they made 3 or 4 subs to try to chase the game. And then honestly, when Declan Rice came in the game, I kind of checked out of the Arsenal game a little bit because it was just where there wasn't any control before, because it was, Norgard was a little rusty and he didn't have, maybe his best game, but also, like I say, his relationship with Marino has not really been developed at all. So he struggled a little bit in that department. But when Rice came in the game, I'm like, you know what, let's watch this crazy Chelsea game. I had it on the other screen, and I had my eye on that a little bit more because, we just saw out the rest of the game, controlled it completely, and they didn't offer anything in the end. And like I've been saying the past couple episodes, it's really nice to see the consistency of the mentality of this, we're going to, and you can kind of see it in games. Arteta is okay with, surviving or getting to the second half and not having been at our best and not, kind of making the game a little bit shorter. And then we blitzed Madrid. And then against Palace, our best spell of the game at the weekend was the first 15 minutes of the second half. We were kind of poor otherwise, honestly, in that game. We defended well against Palace. And that's another positive, thing to, why I said the freight train rolls on, because, the Palace performance, while it might have been maybe our worst performance of the season, it was not necessarily because we were bad. I think Crystal Palace, like we were saying off camera just a minute ago, deserves a ton of credit because, yes, I'll praise Arteta for winning that game and getting it right. I will also say that I was not a huge fan of what we showed that day because Palace were the better team in the first half. And Arteta responded at halftime with a concession. Like, I don't know if you caught the highlights or watched that game at all, but his response to us getting kind of pressed into not being able to do anything at all was to just skip Mateta, was to just skip the press. Like in the second half, Raya kicked it long so many times. Like you just more times than I knew was normal. It wasn't like, oh, panic, but stations. He was doing it on purpose, and we weren't winning as many second balls as I'd like.
But I think that's also connected to, and I agree, playing differently. But this is something that, I complained about teams once they get sort of away, is you do have to be able to play other ways. It might not be pretty, it might not be lovely. You got to figure it out. And it's ugly ball because, I guess, you have like the Rolls Royce players, right? And then you're like, they don't do that. But I get you. It's a very weird thing to see initially, but I'm glad to see that, there's a little bit of that, because that's the scrappy, I'm going to do whatever's necessary. to try to get something.
No, I agree 100%. And I'm not going to criticize very heavily. I'm just stating that I don't like the mentality of what happened. But I can't criticize. He won the game. I'm not going to sit here and say, that because I didn't like what happened, that this A needs to happen or B needs to happen because of it. Nothing needs to happen because of that. We got the 3 points where we wouldn't have last season. And that's shown because that same fixture, we dropped points last season, dropped points to Fulham last season, dropped points to West Ham last season, dropped points away at Newcastle last season. So all 4 of those hurdles in the same corresponding fixture this season, we've improved, and so the lineup was there versus Palace. The mentality was there versus Palace, but they just were better in the first half. But our defense is so strong, even when we lose the ball high up, we still only gave up 1 shot on target in that match. And I think Arteta at halftime was just like, you know what? Their press is killing us. Their press is making it real nervy back there. So just hit it long and win the second ball. And for 15 minutes in the second half, we did that. They gave us stupid foul, like just a needless foul. And yeah, we dunked a free kick on him as I got the goal against his old team. Fitting. And then like for the rest of the game, we retreated. And again, it was out of necessity. I think Arteta just realized that I think one of his best qualities is one of the things that, in spite of myself and the things that I do think about Arteta on a macro level, I think one of the things that I have to give him credit for over all of the years is he's been very specific with his game plans, in that he knows how to, for example, when he goes to Old Trafford, he's never going to play expansive, open, rock and roll football, because he knows that if he doesn't do that and he plays what some are calling haram ball, United won't do a thing. United will not be able to do anything. They'll never break us down. Not in a million years. We could play 900 games there. They won't break us down. That's his mentality. And so every year when we go to Old Trafford, it's a stinky, horrible, just disgusting, defensive performance. And so he knew when Palace was really beating us and we weren't at it as far as being able to play through the lines, he switched it up. And as you say, he beat what was in front of him on the day. That's all I can ask.
That's super important, because the thing is that, and while I absolutely understand what you're saying, it's just sort of the other side where it's like you've done that for so long. Hey man, just win now. Because you kind of get to the point where it's like I don't give a care. Just win the game, because at the end, we just want to win. And the thing about it is that I think we can probably go back and search the archives, the 3-year archives, with the archives of, just talking about how there was a refusal to change and sort of a stubbornness. And the fact that stubbornness is not there, because maybe I'm making a joke of last year, maybe the person who robbed that he set up to rob the team at the beginning of last season to pickpocket him, he's like, that was stupid. Let me just do football stuff. And then he did football stuff. And he's like, you know what? I don't like this kind of football, but you know what? If we win the game, we win the game. And it's at least it feels like we tried, because there are some managers and some type of, sort of football minds that are like, you got to play this way. This is the way we do. This is how we win. And they do that and they lose. And Pep has moments of that, but
it's like Southampton last season.
And so I just think I give him credit for that, because the thing is that's what it's going to take. It's one of those one of those philosophical quotes to do something you've never done before, you must do something you've never done before. I know that's not the quote, but you get where I'm coming
from. To achieve something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done.
Yeah. And so the thing about it is that, being honest, and I stand on it's important that you win the first one in front of you. I just think it's important because they asked Pep about the thing, and he said, what do you care about the Carabao Cup? He's like, well, I think it's important. We won 4 in a row. I mean, you set a standard. You have to know what it's like to win. So I think the fact that you played young guys and you gave your veteran guys a chance to kind of get a rest, come in and do the thing. And I mean, Saka scored, so you had the guys coming in and like kind of doing the things, and it's good. It's good as a supporter when you watched, the pros, and respect to the other guys, but the pros to come on, and you're like, this is boring. I don't really need to watch anymore, because you knew it was done. It was. They showed it everything up. Shop was set up. It wasn't like they quit. It just, there was nothing coming from that, and so that's a good confidence to have going forward. But that's a confidence that you build from games like this. That, hey, I'm gonna just put you on. I'm not doing out of desperation, because you've seen teams who play the young boys and they say, oh, well, let me stick this guy on because I'm desperate. No, we need to keep you fresh, getting your minutes, because I know, but I have no idea who you guys play this weekend. But I'm sure it's just to keep the legs fresh and
Burnley.
And just making sure the legs are fresh, because maybe that's not the level of challenge, or like the way Burnley will come at you in the league, because it's 1 of 38. It's very different than what Brighton was going to do, because Brighton is like, hey man, we want to win something, and we might not be great, but we want to win something. And
Turf Moor won't be easy.
No, but I also look at like the level of a cup. You're at home, and it's good that you had those guys. Again, it's about the depth. You want to let guys get used to, hey, you don't normally play with Declan in a real thing. Let me stick him next to you so you can see what it feels like, right? And then it helps just morale. I think winning in different ways and kind of scrapping your way through things is a super important thing that builds the grit. So when we're in fixture number 30 and you got 8 on the horizon, you're like, all right, man, I know what this feels like, and then your legs are sort of, no, I know what it feels like. And I think that's a positive for you. I mean, hey, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to sound like the strangest City fan ever, but I think it's just only because it's personal. But for you, man, I would love to see you happy at the end of the season, man. I mean, I would like to be happy after that, which means it's the Big Ears trophy. But hey, I look at it and I would say that I know that, and the funny thing is, I know you want to win both. There's nothing wrong with that, because I want to win all of them. But I really understand for you, this is something that you and they don't owe you anything. No one owes anybody anything. But I think your dedication to this, the journey. The other Arsenal fans in there are some rough Arsenal fans. You're one of the better representatives. But
I appreciate that.
But it's not to insult them. It's just some are like wild delusional, right?
Oh,
And the thing is that there's a thing where you're seeing it, and I think Arteta is a fantastic manager. He's arrogant. You won't miss me saying that. I think he's an arrogant manager, but he's a good manager. And so, I mean, I have no issue with Arsenal having success. I mean, if I'm being real, if you guys can make a run to the Carabao Cup final and win it, I mean, obviously not against my boys, but I would root for that, man. Because again, I firmly believe that real trophy lift, the real trophy lift is such a different feeling, man.
Yeah.
And I think as much as we joke and we call it the Mickey Mouse Cup, I would love to be on here, sort of post maybe even live watch along, and then the real reaction and reality of, hey man, won our first one.
Dude, I'll be pumped. I'll be over the moon.
It's real, man. And people will try to minimize. Hey, well, hey man, how many you got? Because there's a lot of people who talk, and it'll be people who have trophies with cobwebs, and they're rusted, and they were made from the dragon's fire back in the 1600s. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey man, don't hate on that, because I'll sit here and tell you all day I got 13 Premier League titles, baby.
you know, I don't do history MC.
From
You know, I don't
like way back in the day.
I don't do that. I don't do history MC.
You're on 10. You're on like 9 or 10. So
yeah, but I still don't do history MC. And but the thing is, I'm funny because I just, and we'll get there later. It's just, you know, I think because, you know, you watch fans and you hope for them, and you know there's a few not cool ones in there, but you know you hope for the good things, you know. Like, I mean, I'm a Knicks fan, man, and the Knicks was 2-0, and then they had 2 stinkers, and I'm like, ah. But then when when I'm up there, they're gonna win when I'm there, and and then after that, you know, because everyone's saying this is our year, I get you, man. Like, I get it, right? No one ever said it was City's year when City won the first one. I still remember you. I remember when I watched that game and I saw down to 2-0, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. Took my shirt off and I just was depressed, man. And then I literally, but I never quit on the game. And you know, that's how I function anyways. Like the supporters that I go watch games with for City, I never give up on the game until all the zeros are up there, or until the referee blows. And so I'm saying to you, man, I'm rooting for you, man. I'm rooting. I'm sure I've rooted for you before, except when, you know, play us. But, you know, I'm rooting for you. And because I think, you know, the thing is I think you're seeing the positivity, and as long as injuries, because I mean that there's really nothing you can do about that. But you guys have done pretty well even with that. Like there's and that's where a credit to today's result, showing the depth that's there, is that you're able to show, you know, you got that. Yes, the guys are not fully there, but you have bodies and you have minds that are buying into the system that can do these things. And so, you know, was it the most impressive game? No, it wasn't the most impressive game looking at like the highlights, but you won. And I mean, no, it's funny. I've seen commentators say this, and they'll be like, well, you know, it's an ugly championship. Well, I'm going to need you to go ahead and just put a line through that first word. And then you just engrave my name on the trophy, and we'll just take what it is, right? I don't care if it's pretty or not.
It's like people trying to say last year's title wasn't as good or awesome for Liverpool because the rest of the league was trash. I do not care one single tiny iota at all. Like I've heard, I don't know if you've heard of the Forever Arsenal podcast on AFTV. But anyway, there's this one dude, they asked one of the guys on there, said, would you take 38 1-0 wins in a season? Yeah. And I was like, and to me, I'm thinking, duh. And he goes, nah, I need some better football than
wait a minute. Did Arsenal fans say this? So wait a minute. Arsenal, the only holders of the gold trophy, being presented the scenario to get another gold trophy more perfect than the gold trophy. You got to get the platinum trophy at that point. And they say no. Now, mind you, that gold trophy, which I respect, but we're going to go make sure we acknowledge it. It was a bunch of draws in there.
12.
And you wouldn't
there were 12 draws.
You wouldn't take 38 W's? Man, you crazy.
That was a crazy. Yeah. Well, the point was, you know, score a goal and park the bus is just not, he doesn't want to see that. You know, I do not care one little tiny bit if every game for the rest of the season is like that Crystal Palace game. I won't care one bit if we just play the nastiest, most disgusting brute force 1-0 our way to a Champions League final, Chelsea 2012. Like, I would absolutely love that. You know, I mean, it's amazing to me when we haven't won for that long. I'll take any kind of win, you know, so the set pieces, whatever it takes, you know, we face low blocks every week. So the set pieces open up the low blocks. I'm fine. I'm fine with whatever we have to do. You know, it doesn't bother me. And you know, as I was thinking about today's game, I knew that Arteta was going to do maybe like a half rotation or something. I knew that that's what to expect, but I wanted, like, on the stronger side, I wanted to win the game. I figured Brighton would come to win, and they played a decently strong team. They definitely played Baleba and Kalioglu, the same guy that started in there last during the loss to Man United at the weekend. So in the beginning, their midfield was definitely doing work, but against Palace in the next round, they're bringing the squad, and it's December 16th. So it's right smack dab in the middle of all the Christmas festive craziness. Like, we're probably going to have
told you, man, that festive season going to be crazy.
We're going to have to move. We're going to have to probably like move a fixture around or something. Like, it's going to be, there's no telling like who's around us. I'm sure at that time, it's going to be a crazy moment. All the fixture list doesn't even go that far.
Hey, hold on 1 second.
Yeah. Let me look this up right quick. Let me find out. Let's go here. And we'll go here. And we'll go here. All right. I'll click on December. So, yeah, December 3rd is Brentford. December 6th is Aston Villa for Arsenal. We got Club Brugge on the 10th. 13th is Wolves. Then there would be the 16th in between a game between Wolves and so not the worst run, but to throw the Carabao Cup quarterfinal in there, that's going to be a big game. Yeah, that's going to be crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's going to mean 8 games in December.
Yeah, but remember I've been saying this for the last, I guess, 3 weeks. The festive period is about to be something else, man.
It's going to be crazy.
I sent you the thing about like there's only one game on Boxing Day, which I agree with your statement about like it's not really the biggest deal in the world, but like that's like it's a thing, But I mean, that festive period should be crazy. In addition to the fact that you got the break, because I think are they really taking a break? Because I know they said they took a break and it didn't feel like there was a winter break, but
not according to the schedule on BBC.
I thought it was like
unless it's in January.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But I know that was something that like they pushed for, but then they filled that break with games, which
right.
It's quite funny, but I don't really have. I mean, I don't have nothing for that, man. It kind of is what it is, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's also not helped by the new format of the Champions League. There's 2 games in January, 2 group stage games in January, so it just keeps on going and going and going relentlessly. And hopefully Arsenal can do that at the weekend. At Turf Moor.
Oh yeah, Burnley.
We go to Burnley, so it's going to be low block city. It's going to be. It's not going to be a one for the neutrals. We'll put it that way, but we'll want to see.
But the funny thing about this season is it could be. It could be. You know what I mean? Like, I don't expect it either, but could be, especially since all the games was what there is 1, 2, 5 games on at 11. And then there's a 1:30 and a 4.
Nobody's going to want to watch Arsenal at Burnley while Chelsea's playing Tottenham.
But they're separate games. The Arsenal Burnley's at 11, Chelsea Tottenham's at 1:30. It's after.
Well, there you go.
You can watch both. And then Poole plays Villa, which is going to be a good game.
Oh, it's going to be a great game.
Good game. Woo,
that's going to be a really good game.
That's going to be a good game. But back to Arsenal. I got you.
Yeah, I expect to see, starters back in, strongest team back in, Gyökeres back in. I think he's been really good. I think he's going to be very important. Didn't have his best game at Palace, but he'll definitely come back in. I think we just got to handle business. This is, we've been able to capitalize on Liverpool's stumbles on your own as well, and so this is not a game to let our momentum slip. And I expect us to be defensively sound as we have been all season, to not give up much, and just keep the mentality the same as it has been. And I don't see why we don't get all 3 points.
I agree.
Like I say, do I like everything that Arteta does? No, but I'm not going to be criticizing him while he's getting everything right. And as long as we've got that consistency in literally all aspects of our game, I'm happy. Sitting pretty.
Yeah, man. And
on top of all of it.
And in the knockout rounds of another tournament, man, what more can you ask, right?
Yeah, they're doing everything we can ask of them. And so, at the moment, got no complaints at all. So we always joke, can they do it on a rainy night? Can you do it on a rainy night in Wales? That was the question. And Marmouche and Shirky and the boys delivered.
It started out rough though, man. Like I was at a doctor's appointment when it started, so I wasn't really paying attention to the doctor that well. But it started out rough. I saw the highlights of the first half, and just kind of and I didn't really love the lineup either. But I was so excited to see that Marmouche is playing striker and that Joku was on the field and Cherky was there and we played some of the young boys and Gonzalez. I'm glad Nico Gonzalez got to play, and Ryan Nori got in there and Kusanov was back, but then Kusanov didn't look great, so he's clearly not back. But it was slow going early. And I think Swansea Swansea saw a chance. City is no longer, that juggernaut that people are afraid of. And that's fine. Like, I think that's cool because I think what it does is it gives them something to prove. It's similar to what we talked about in the sort of pre-show where we're talking about people punching Liverpool in the mouth. It's because the people recognize, hey man, when you're the champ, if they can be the champ, why can't we? Why can't we? This is our championship game. Let's fight them. And so they came and they were good. And then Pep made subs, which were necessary. And then when those subs came on, we started looking a little better. You took off Kusanov for Stonesy, who he's obviously on his last legs contract wise and all that stuff. But Stones is you put him in a game like this, he's gonna do exactly what he's supposed to do. And Gavardiol came on, which again, like Aït-Nouri wasn't. Aït-Nouri's not known to be like a great defender, anyways. He's an attacking player. And so, Gavardiol, shored some stuff up for us out there defensively. Because again, I think Gavardiol and Stone should play together, anyways. and then Phil, Phil came on, and then all of a sudden, that line that we was looking for, that many City fans are calling for, existed out there, and I thought that was really good because they, guys got to kind of play around, but it did create the idea of the substitution crisis of, well, where do you play Marmouche? Because he has to play in the middle because he's a second striker. He can't play on the wing. But then if Cherky's on the wing, where does Foden go? And where? Hey man, put them all on the field. Do that first, and then let's figure out the other stuff after that. I think that will be good to see. But it's good to see Trafford get back in the goal. I know a lot of people were critical of City and felt like they kind of deceived them. Like, hey, you're going to be the number one for Man City, and then they brought in Gigi, which is funny because respectfully, I can't believe he believed that. There's no way he believed that he was coming in, Ederson is leaving, and Ortega is still there. But obviously they're trying to let him go, so he'll probably be gone in January. And then they signed the guy from Chelsea. He's like, yeah, you're going to be the number one. There's no way Manchester City, headed by Pep Guardiola, doesn't have a known keeper. It doesn't even work like that. Like, if your agent told you that I have a beach for you in the Sahara Desert, and I have some diamonds that are made of glass. Because what are you talking about, man? Like, well,
just send me your credit card information right now.
Yes, I want princes from that people used to get back when we was kids. That I have whatever it is they said that they were stealing money from you for. But yeah, I mean overall, in the end they looked a lot more fluid when the other guys came on, and you know, City was fine. You know, I saw that they get who did they get the next round? They got
Brentford.
They got Brentford.
You host Brentford, yeah.
Which is fine. I think that's fair enough. And
It'll be a tough match.
Yeah, but I mean Brentford won 5-0 today. I mean it's Grimsby. But you know, they won 5-0 and Brentford always plays City tough. And the thing about it is you know, City really, and Pep said it, and I agree. Well, they need as many games as they possibly can anyways because of how big the team is. So, hey man, keep winning. So all these guys can get a run out so you can start getting like a feel for where they are, because obviously you don't play the inexperienced people in the Champions League. And this is where the less experienced or like the long in the teeth people play. And then you do this as long as you can, because then the next tournament comes, which is the FA Cup. And that starts in January. So, you know, play as much as you can through December and then get some rest and whatever break they had in there that they said exists that doesn't exist.
That 4-day break.
Yeah, and then kind of go from there. And it was funny because when just thinking about like the number of games, and you mentioned kind of how like Arsenal, and while City is in no injury crisis, injuries have been present. It was funny to see when Gavardio made the pass to Shirky and Shirky scores the goal. He went to celebrate, and then it looked like he pulled his hamstring, and like everybody's like, "God, are you serious?"
Oh my God, yeah.
And he was on the ground; they were stretching him, but I think it's because that was his first like 90-minute game in like forever.
Yeah,
just the legs, because he finished the game, but you know, it was a thing where you know he's supposed to be like the heir apparent, you know, to Kevin. Salute to Kevin. Hope his recovery is fast and he comes back.
He had surgery today.
God, that's terrible, man.
Yeah,
that's terrible. But
he had surgery again,
which means he won't see the pitch until like March.
4 months, yeah.
And it's weird because I mean I would love to see him play in the World Cup, and I'm talking about like real life seeing, because you know, I mean, I don't know who will be at Belgium games, and I don't even know about the World Cup tickets anymore. But I'm gonna try to go to a game, at least one. You know,
sure, yeah.
And but you know, I'm happy, and you know, City plays. Who do they play this weekend? I have no idea.
I want to speak on that because you play Bournemouth on the weekend. That's going to be a great game.
Yeah, man.
That's going to be a great game because while everyone's talking about Liverpool's free fall and Sunderland are doing great, Bournemouth got the second best defense in the league. Semenyo's on like 6 goals already. Krupi, the guy that came through because Watara got sold, is already on 3 goals.
Yeah,
dude, they're flying,
and they're second in the table.
They're flying. That's gonna be a tough. Is it at home? Is it at Etihad? It's still gonna be a tough game.
In Manchester. And you know the thing is that I'm curious about the lineup because
who do you got? Who do you got in champs this week?
In Champions League, let's see. Fixture.
Did I just miss it? I thought I looked at it.
We play.
No, you played Dortmund.
Yeah.
That's
at home. But our next 2 games are at home. So
that's not a fun week.
And then Liverpool's after that. And then
that's not a fun week.
And then Leverkusen is after that. I'm good with it.
That's a little run right there for sure.
It is, but it's a deep squad, and literally Pep can't say, "Well, I have no play." You got tons of players.
So how did they? Or go ahead.
No, go ahead.
How did they? It was kind of an opportunity today to play without Haaland. How did they kind of? Because that's like the main, criticism. Oh, what? Right. Well, you can't do it without Haaland. So. And
then Marmoush and Shirky scored. Go figure.
It's a great Landon Donovan goal. Roof of the net from the corner angle for Marmoush.
Well, it's funny they called it an Aguero goal because Aguero did score a bunch of goals like that for City too. But I'll take, Landon's fine. We're Americans, so we can do that.
In the 2-2 versus Slovenia in the 2010 World Cup.
I know what you're talking about.
That's the one. That's the one I'm talking about. Yeah.
No, I mean but like City supporters were like, that's an Aguero like goal because Aguero used to score goals like that all the time. But I'll take Landon again. we're supporting the U.S. national team, even though we might only have 3 games in this tournament.
Even though we're trash, yeah.
But
we're here for it. We'll be there for it. That's for sure.
We're supporting. But yeah, it was good to see him score without Haaland, because that was one of the things. Oh, can we do it without Haaland? Well, first of all, yes. I have no idea why people were even like, can they do it without him? Are we serious?
Well, your second highest goal scorer plays for Burnley.
No, but I get it, but here's my thing. Like, but are we serious? Like, literally all the dudes that could score were hurt. Like, they're all hurt. So what did you want him to do? Phil was like, Phil has been given like key passes and playing great balls. And
Doku scored today, didn't he?
Yeah, Doku scored today too. So
that's good.
I'm gonna just go ahead and put it there. Bernardo Silva plays a lot. He's not a scorer, so I don't know if people thought goals were supposed to come from him. Savinho, and then there's Bob, and hey man, I think Savinho's a nice person. Like I feel like he's a nice person. He has good spirit to him, and that's all I have to say, right? And then Bob, he's been off it, and like Reinders has been inconsistent since the first game, and that's on him. And so then what I've seen is that City has been better defensively, and then Haaland has been more involved in tracking back and playing in the creation of in the offense. He has an assist, so clearly he passed the ball to someone to score. So can other players score for City? Yes, but the issue that exists there is not that Haaland's the only one. It's that there are players who are not taking chances. There are players who are poor at finishing, and then there's people who want perfect goals, right? And so if you combine that in perfect ball, you get what you get. And Haaland just hits it. He just hits the ball, man.
Well, tell me about Villa Park.
That was a very interesting game. And hold on, let me go back to that one, because I watched that, and it was a very interesting yet disappointing game. But here's the thing that I recognized.
Didn't y'all lay into him in the end? Like, you were hammering him by the end of it, right?
Yes. But the thing is, and here's the funny thing about hammering him in the end. We started hammering them in the end when they made the subs for the people who would do the things that played in today's game. Because Doku came on, and Cherky came on, and Marmoush came on. And then all of a sudden, the goal was getting lit up. We didn't score, but it was getting lit up because those guys don't create. And I'm being honest. Like, again, Pep knows more about football than I know, period. Yes, but here's the thing. You can know a lot of stuff and still be wrong because you're human. And so he played a lineup, right, of Reinders, who can play the 6, but he's not a 6. And then you played Bernardo Silva, who he can play the 8, but he's not really 8, but he's decent there. And you had Foden, and then you had 0, and I do mean 0 coming from your wings, because you had Savinho, who they literally stopped playing the ball on his side for periods, and Bob was doing some stuff, but he was unproductive too. And then because Savinho needs an overlapping defender wing back to help him. Didn't get none of that. So what are we supposed to do, right? And so you have players who play a kind of way, but we're set up where the players and the support they need to do the things they do were non-existent. It was what it was, and the goal that
Cash
scored, an amazing goal, dirty goal, because what he did, and it was beautiful, is
he totally tricked Gigi. He totally tricked Donnarumma.
Well, not only did he trick him, the way he had the defenders moving, he was completely unsighted. He couldn't see when he was going to shoot the ball anyways.
Well, he was shaped. His body was shaped to curl it to the other side of the goal, and he contorted himself so much when he struck that, and it went the complete opposite direction.
But the thing is that Buffon couldn't react because he didn't know when he hit the ball, because the defenders are all standing in front of him. Like, our team is fairly big now, and so you got like 6'3" guys standing in front of you that are wide, trying to make themselves big as possible, because that's what defenders are supposed to do. And I can't see, so I don't know when he let it loose. And so when he let it loose, it was too late. It was in the goal.
What was the idea with the lineup? Like, why go with such a small, techie kind of tiki-taka, intricate passing style midfield when you're up against the likes of John McGinn, Onana, Morgan Rogers? These dudes are big dudes in the center.
The first thing I would say is I think it was connected to health. I'm going to just be 100% honest, right? I don't think he thought Marmoush was ready to play like heavy minutes. Fair enough. And especially against like you bring a guy back to play heavy minutes against a big physical team. Sounds like you're not looking towards the future. So I'm going to get that. Sherky's the same. Because, I mean, obviously after he scored in his first 90, he felt like he pulled out a hamstring. So you know he wasn't ready for that. So I get those two because those are the two that you probably would play to stick on to replace those guys. I don't know why he didn't play Doku to start because he normally plays Doku together. And the funny thing is that playing Savinho and Bob together is very confusing because they're both left-footed. So that means that put Savinho on the side where he's less productive because normally he would have played on the other side and Doku would have been on the other. So I don't know that. Nico Gonzalez was hurt in the game before, so that's why.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
And so that's why Reinders played there. But it was better cover than we had at all last year. So that's why. And then, Nico O'Reilly came on and he was good. So I if I'm being honest, I think it was an idea of these guys can control the ball, right? I think the idea was to hold on to the ball, but they couldn't because Bernardo Silva historically holds on to the ball pretty well. Reinders is decent at that. Savinho is holds the ball better than Doku. I give him that. He holds the ball a lot better than Doku does, and Bob does that as well too. And so I think he wanted to control the pace by controlling the possession. But I mean, we all know in football it only takes one shot, man. Like it takes one, and all it takes is a one quick one where the keeper's unsighted, right? And everybody's in where they're supposed to be. Keeper's unsighted. You hit the ball right, it goes in. And that's literally what happened. Because we were peppering the goal, but at that point there, it's 14 guys in the box. And what are you supposed to do at that point?
Yeah.
So credit to Villa. I mean, but we all knew, if we're being honest, that was going to be a tough game. That's what we said last week. In addition,
that's their 6th straight win.
Right. In addition to that is and this is a true thing as an athlete in your life as well, is that if you have things on that you don't like wearing, you normally don't play well either. So I think that was the one and only time that we wear the slime green. It rained on this uniforms, so we can get that. Hey, Puma, we appreciate you. We've fulfilled the code of playing. You wear the uniform once, never ever wear it again.
I saw a stat that said Manchester City have worn 9 different kits this calendar year.
Yeah, because I got one on that they wore just for the summer.
In 2025, they've worn 9 different kits.
Yeah, because they dropped it. Because they
what are you, Arsenal now?
Hey man, Puma's just trying to get those numbers up, man.
Just dropping merch for merch's sake. That's what we do.
It's funny, yeah, because they had like 4 kits last year. Yeah, that sounds right. But overall, I mean, the result was fair. You're unlikely to catch me complain about a result because the results are what they are. I mean, just or unjust, that's the end. The whistle blew. This was what it was. And could they have won? Yeah, it's the first. And so a couple of these things haven't happened, or these first are out of the way. So this is the first loss with GG. Cool. Get it out the way. Now we don't have to hear about that no more. This is the first whatever and whatever. It was, but then there was the stat that like Villa has played City tough the last few times. Hey man, good.
You've lost the 3 straight at Villa Park. Yeah.
And so hey, go from there and understand that no one was expecting an undefeated season. The goal is to play the best possible, be in contention all the way to the end for the league. Make good runs in every cup, specifically the Champions League, and get better as we go. I mean, again, looking, there's a back line here of Diaz and Stones. Like, I mean, slow for slow, right? I mean, what do we expect, right? So, but again, Pep knows more than we do, and I'm fine with that. But But sometimes what you plan in your mind and what executes on the field are two different things. So while he may be a footballing savant, this one missed because on the field, what he thought they would produce was different than what they did produce. Fair enough. Managers make, decisions. They own the decisions and they move on. This coming weekend will be another important one where, hey, man, this team is above us. And we got to play, to the best.
Yes, for good reason.
Yeah.
They've been fantastic.
They have. They've been really good. And so that challenge is there. It is my hope that he plays the best lineup possible. Today is Wednesday. We play Sunday. That means everybody should be available to play. And if I'm shooting a lineup at you because Kusanov didn't impress, which means for sure he's not playing, I would expect, obviously Gigi's in the goal. Nunez is going to play right back. Diaz will play center half. And I don't dislike Diaz. He's just so slow, man. But he's smart. He's been having a good season. He's a smart guy.
This is going to be a fast game. You're going to
which is why Gavardi will play next to him.
Yeah,
and O'Reilly will probably start.
That makes sense.
Just to balance the pace. Yeah. And he's big. Nico Gonzalez will start at the 6.
You're going to need him. Yeah.
Reinders will play. And because it's an important game, Bernardo Silva 1,000% plays this game. I don't know if he's in the middle or on the wing. I would guess he's on the wing because I think Foden's going to play. And if Foden plays, we already know Haaland's up front.
Yeah.
So if Foden plays, then the question is, who is the last player? And as painful as this is going to be, because we're going to
You think it's Savinho. It should be Doku.
It's 1,000% going to be Savinho.
It should be Doku.
It's 1,000% going to be Savinho, even though I really believe Shirky should play.
Is there an appearance quota in his new contract?
That's the running joke at the supporters club, is that it has to be written in there because he's played since he got the contract. He's played every
game,
single game. Not only has he played them all, he's played the whole game.
Did he play the whole game today?
No, he did not. He didn't play today. I don't think he did. He play?
But the Premier League game, he played games. The last 3 games, he's played every one.
Games he's played at least 85 minutes. The whole game. And
he's
there was somebody who said something to me on the internet.
He's not good.
And I made a comment. I was like, he's gotten more chances than Bob. And he's like, no, he hasn't. Bob has played more minutes. He's played more games. So I said, hold on. Let's just correct this. Because first, Savinho was hurt early. So now you go ahead and get that number of games thing out. So that's why he didn't play the same number of games, because he was healthy. He would have been playing. Second, if you look at Bob played the first game. He played the whole game. And then after that, he made subs in the 90th and the 80th minute. And then he played some spot games here. But Bob hasn't been given a chance to sort of find the form because of what's behind him, because of the style he plays. So while Bob hasn't been lighting the world on fire, Bob still gives you more than Savinho does. Like, yes, Savinho had like the 2 assists in the one game, but I mean, we was smacking people in that game. So and then again, the one he had an assist where it was the only pass he had.
Yeah.
Haaland is standing by himself. It's a backwards pass, which he's a master at. Pass it backwards, he'll do the rest. Right. Yeah. And so again, it's no knocking. He's a professional footballer. And but there's an expectation that he's supposed to produce where he is. And I'm saying, based on just eye test and knowing the skill level, Savinho, talent-wise, form-wise, is on the pecking order below Doku, below Shirky, below Marmoush. The only thing that stopped it is they were unhealthy. They are healthy now. They should absolutely start the next game. We know Bernardo's going to play. Like, we know that. And so you got to have somebody creative. Bernardo is not the creative guy, but he's your steady guy. You got to have something.
I think if you played Gonzalez, Bernardo, and Shirky, and then Foden, Haaland, Marmoush, God, that'd be such a fun game. that would be an awesome game.
Playing.
That would be an amazing, like back and forth fireworks kind of game. That'd be so much fun.
I mean, I'm rarely ever a betting guy, but if that lineup that you said is played, we win the game.
Both teams to score all day long. That's the locked. Both teams to score if you play that,
and we win. Because Haaland's going to get his because he didn't score in the last game, so he's like, I can't beat Vardy's record. Respect to Jamie Vardy.
Yo, Bournemouth, man, they've conceded 5 times all season.
Yeah, and Arsenal.
Never mind. That's their goal difference is 5. Never mind. They have conceded 11 goals.
And the one of the few open play goals against Arsenal is Erling Haaland. So I'm just
going. They've conceded 11 goals actually. So yeah, I was gonna challenge your if you play that lineup you win statement, but I think
where we win.
I think if you play that lineup, you'll put 4 past them.
It's the most creative team we have.
You'd put 4 past them. They might score 2, but you'd put 4 past them.
I don't even know if that. And while I hear you, I don't know if they score 2 because I think we keep the ball. I think we keep the ball. Because I think Bernardo and Nico and Reinders, they hold on to the ball. They understand. And
I dropped Reinders. My lineup dropped Reinders.
I think Reinders plays. He's a Pep favorite. You can already see that. He's a Pep favorite.
So who drops Marmoush or Shirky?
Well, that's why I said
dropping Foden. Yeah, he ain't dropping Foden.
It might be Foden. I think Marmoush is on the bench because he spells Haaland. He's the sub for him. And gotcha. So I think that you bring the striker on, and that's your.
Well, there you go.
And that so I would love to see Shirky play. That's. I mean, he's clearly a baller. Like there's zero question he's a baller.
He's fantastic. Yeah.
I mean, he provided the assist and scored a goal today. I mean, he's a baller. Play him.
That's why he's on the thumbnail, man.
Play him.
That's why he's in the thumbnail. Yeah, he definitely had a good game.
So, but I mean, Sunday will be Sunday, I look forward to that. I'll be with a different supporters group this time, so this should be interesting to see how it works there. But I'll still keep my positivity and wear my blue. Yeah,
I might be nursing a little bit of a hangover on Sunday. I got a wedding to go to on Saturday, so that's gonna be fun. My nephew's getting married.
Congratulations to him and his bride to be.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Marriage is a thing that you celebrate, the day, and hopefully you celebrate every other day after that.
Yeah, man. Lauren and I actually just last week celebrated 3 years.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, man.
Razzle and the dazzle, man.
21st, 8 days ago. So yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah, man.
And it's been a fast 3 years, I bet, right?
Oh God, it's flown by.
Flew by.
That's absolutely flown by.
And that's good, man.
For sure.
I'm glad you both are happy and invigorated by life, and you got puppies to keep you on your toes, that.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, the newest one definitely does that. Rex is a maniac, but we love him. We love him, the little guy. But speaking of
yes,
yeah, thanks, man. But speaking of maniacs and madness, what is going on at Stamford Bridge these days? What
they got a red card. We maintained that. They just did it for one game to get rid of it.
We're back, and guess what? It was Liam Delap.
I know.
Who's been out for like 2 months.
He said, "Hey, man, I'm bringing that back. That rap. Hey,
first.
Remember I said when they get a red card, they win. Remember I said that.
So, hey, there you go. Yeah. Oh man, it was a stupid red too. It was a dumb red to get for him. He could have got the straight red because he elbowed a dude in a challenge. Tried to hide it from the referee. I was like, dude, come on, man. You just got back in the team. You just got back in, and now I guess it was just a symptom of that game because you're up 3-0.
3-0.
Esteval has just scored a screamer. You're up 3-0. And you know what? I want to read this out, actually. I want to read the text messages that I exchanged with Xavier at that time. I said, Let's see. He kept texting me about the game. He said, scored too early. That's the first thing he said. Scored too early in this one. And I said, who? Swansea? Because I was making a joke. And he goes, no, us. And then he goes, maybe not, baby. Georgia the Jungle. Let's go. That was at 2-0. And then I said, Wolves are bleep. Y'all should dump on them. And he goes, should being a key word. We are Chelsea. And I said, when the first goal went in, I went, rut-row. And he goes, nasty finish, though. And then I sent him a picture of my 3 screens. And I said, I'm still not watching Chelsea. Oh, God. He says, ha, 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 ha. No need. We got this one.
And then 3-2.
And then, yeah. And then it's 3-2. And I looked at it, I said, bro, what did you do? Why'd you have to go and say something? And it was just madness from there, man. Oh, and he's like, it's every day. It's every game with that. And I'm like, dude, how?
Bro, they
first of all,
win, man.
I don't even know. Like, how do you? And Wolves are bad. Wolves are really, really bad.
Bro.
And then after the Gittins goal, this is what's crazy. Almost out of nothing, it was weird. Gittins on a half volley with an absolute screamer to make it 4-2. They weren't even done with the replays, and they'd conceded.
Bro.
They had conceded immediately from the kickoff. Not even done with the replays. And it was... I was like, what? And there was still 6 minutes left.
You know, the crazy part is that before you say, okay, it's a young team, but that doesn't work anymore. That's a lack of focus on them, man. Like,
for real.
You're not even taking this seriously?
Oh, they switched off at 3-0. That's for sure. Switched off at 3-0.
Yeah, you score more.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. And what's crazy is after the result at the weekend?
Yeah, I don't get it, man. But you know what? That's none of my business. That's not my team.
I mean, I just like dumping on I just like rival tears. I just like dumping on the rivals, you know.
Hey, I get it.
I just enjoy it.
I'm trying to get my team to just get my energy right about my own team. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I hear that, man. I'm just enjoying the league at the moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, the football has been good across the board, even though it's weird because Chelsea have had moments where they look really, really good, dude, and then they do this, and then you're because then if we're being honest, the actual team doesn't even know what they are if they can't be consistent in how they play. I mean, yes. Your opponent is different, so you're going to play different than your opponent. But, I mean, let's be for real, man. Like you have to find some level of consistency, and it should never be predicated on what the other team gives. It's like, okay, we take whatever, but we impose our will on people and kind of go from there. This is where, I have respect because Arsenal plays their way. You know what I'm saying? They play their way, and they play through. It's weird because then you have the whole – okay, well, what if they had this person? And that's where I feel like they undermine their thing because you're like, okay, you show that you can win without Cole or this person or that person. But then you show inconsistency and you're like, does Cole fix that? Because it's more than Cole, So
they're consistently getting red cards.
Hey, man, like I said, when they get a red card, they win. And while I have no advocation for getting red cards. Consistency, as you said.
I think, a lot of people are accusing Holland FC, as I've been calling them, of being far too reliant upon the big Norwegian. I think that Chelsea, low-key, are very reliant on Moises Caicedo.
For sure.
Very reliant on Moises Caicedo. Because if you look at it, he came into the game today and you're like, okay, You expect it to be a little bit calmer.
Calm it down.
Expect things to kind of be a little bit more controlled. He came in and was not great. He didn't play well, and so things were not controlled. Things were crazy. He gave the ball away. He picked up a yellow card. He misplaced a couple. It just wasn't his best. Don't get me wrong. Moise Caicedo was one of the best in the league in that position, in my opinion. But when he's supposed to be the calming influence and he come in and he's not at his best, you can see how that really affects the team. And, once again on Sunday, he wasn't at his best and they struggled. Because Sunderland, you got to give them credit as well. They played very, very well.
But I think it's also the fact that, as calming as a presence as a person can be walking into whatever situation they are. I mean, we also have to understand the humanness of the person of like, hey man, at some point I need you all to be like normal too. I need you to like find some foundation, whatever. And they didn't give that. So I mean, and I agree with you that you expected him to provide that. I mean, so there's nobody else because the team is a team, right? I mean, you kind of need a couple of people to do it.
Well, João Pedro has just completely disappeared. He has not had a shot on target. I don't know if he even played today, but he hasn't had a shot on target in 10 games. Not a goal. He has not had a shot on target, and that's their main guy, the main goal scorer. Like Liam Delap went down, came back, got suspended. So you're still looking to Pedro at the weekend against Spurs away to Tottenham. And, that's a very heated, hate-filled rivalry, So you're going to need everything you can bring because Spurs are playing very well at the moment. They didn't play so great today, but no one, winning at Newcastle ain't for everybody.
And I mean, while we're talking about it, I mean, it's still a cup competition, and the league, sort of the energy behind the league game and a cup game is very different. And so we touted for showing some things. It's also recognizing that the league is where your consistency grows. It's I think Pep and I think Jurgen Klopp said this is like a cup is a couple of games. You just need to find form in those games and you're fine. The league shows how good you are over like a season. And so it's a very different thing. So they need to find that form. But if they don't, now,
yeah.
A funny thing that I noticed because we'll probably cover this, and this is not really to change the topics, but randomly up on my phone, Fabrizio, the Twitter monster that he is, put up a quote from Arne Slot, which I find funny because this is a very interesting quote, right? It said, I saw Man City starting 11 and they did not have one starter from the weekend, but it felt like their best team. That is a bit of an insight. Chelsea can bring in Estavo, and then after I made 2 substitutions tonight, we had 6 teenagers. Sir, you are the manager and you pick the team. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. What are you talking about?
No, I think that's a fantastic segue because I'd love to talk about
what
Liverpool and Arne Slot.
Smacked?
Bro, he's lost it, man. He's lost the plot.
That's worse. I mean, we joked about Klopp saying the grass was too long and the wind was blowing, but dude, what are we talking about, man? At least Klopp was talking about stuff that he couldn't control. Dude, everything you just talked about is stuff you control.
Many people have been saying that, he came into the league last year and had a pretty almost already developed team and didn't have to do a whole lot with it. And now that, like you said earlier in this show, that he, lots of new faces, chopping and changing, switching things up. We're really showing what Slot is capable of as a manager when he's put up against it, when he has to really change things and figure it out because it's not working anymore. And the pressure's showing, man. The things he says, in the interviews these days are crazy. Like a couple weeks back when it was against Frankfurt. After the Frankfurt game, he said, we've been struggling recently because teams don't play the ball on the ground against us. Today, Frankfurt played the ball on the ground and we were able to play with them and play against them. What happened in the next game? And the next game?
And the next one? What are you talking
You told your ops the blueprint to beat you. And you're surprised when they went and did that.
In addition to that, Salah is a year older. Van Dijk is a year older. And I have a couple of friends that are Liverpool fans, and they both actually said this. They really, really thought it was arrogant. And they understood it, but they thought it was arrogant of Liverpool to sell Lucho. Because Lucho was killing it at Bayern, man.
He's already got 16 goals.
Like, what are we doing, man?
He's already got 16 goals.
Why would you let him? And the biggest thing is, I think they had an issue with making him the guy at Liverpool, which is a very weird thing because it was almost a natural sort of passing the torch from Salah to Diaz. And then they just brought in a bunch of, and again, this guy is like, while he's not homegrown, he was entrenched in, being a Liverpool player. I mean, they had the thing with his dad and all that stuff. It made sense. Yeah. And they was like, nah, we don't want to pay you. And so we look at Liverpool, and the thing is, I think the reason they felt comfortable doing that is because of what they did with Mane. Because they shouldn't have let Mane go either. But, they did what they did. Mane got his money, and, he got his money. I can't say much about his play, but because I haven't seen it or heard anything, but he got his money.
He disappeared, really.
And I understood, I understood Firmino. Firmino was like, he fit for what was there while everybody was primed up. But Firmino was never like that imposing, hey, if Firmino's out here, man, right. He just fit what he was supposed to do there while Salah was Salahing. But if Salah is not Salahing now, it's done. It's done. Because then you have what's the dude they just signed? The expensive dude.
Which one?
Isak. It's Verts, but it's funny because it's sort of the joke in itself. They spent a ton of money to try to kind of get around what was there. And say, hey, maybe they figure it out and stuff like that later. I don't know. I mean, I really don't care because that ain't my team, so whatever. But I look at it, and what I don't hear is about money spent, as you mentioned it, but I don't hear about it with them because when City spent money, it was buying titles, and when Arsenal spent a bunch of money, even though respectfully, we're talking about just you all. Arsenal
we've spent. Arteta spent over $1 billion. You can say that about Arsenal. We spent over $1 billion on this particular squad.
Oh well, I was talking. I was avoiding the title shot, right? Because you guys, you've been good, but that's sort of respectfully. But you spent money, and so you looked at what Arsenal did is they spent smarter because your criticism of last year and the year before was the smart spending, right? And they got rid of Darwin Nunez in Liverpool, and they thought that was, and then they got a disgruntled guy to come in, and just word to the wise, disgruntled guys going into a new team are still disgruntled. They're still disgruntled. They're not disgruntled at you, but they have anger, and that anger resonates. That's real energy. No philosophy teaching here. Is just kind of a general thing, right? And so. It kind of is what it is, especially, just.
His not training at full level with an actual team has, in my opinion, led to the fact that, coupled with, Liverpool's need because they've been playing so bad, now he's injured again.
Yeah. And then you look at Verts and, the things that went on behind the scenes that are alleged, with his family getting stuff. And hey, man, it's a business. You do what you got to do. I ain't hating on that. but it was real quiet. But when Holland's dad, who played for City, and then there's secret deals, and he actually, what? Why are we quiet now? Because one of your legacy teams are, did all this stuff, and they don't have anything. But again, Liverpool, historic team, legacy team, and I'm cool with what's happening there. I'm just,
very much so.
And the thing is that, hey, they could find form later, and these guys could all pick it up, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. But I live in the world that now is now. And while I understand and respect what you did for me yesterday in the past, I need you to be good today. And, their guys are lacking the good because, man, they got punched in the face today. And, it's a very interesting thing because they paid their guys, that they needed to keep. And sometimes, you miss, because the one thing that you and I talked about is being the champ. People look at you different, man. They're like, oh, so you the guy I got to beat? Good. You're going to get the very best out of me. Why? Because one, the world is watching this game because they're watching the champs. And so if I play really good, I might be able to go to another team and get me some money, or they'll pay me here. So I'm going to play absolutely the greatest game I've ever seen. You're going to see me spinning tops on my nose while running a marathon. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to do everything. So not only are you going to get team efforts, you're going to get individual efforts. You're going to get fans at their highest level, especially on an away ground. And so when they slap you, they're going to slap you on purpose. They're like, we need to beat you just so people know when you're good again, you're going to come get us. And we understand that. So we're going to hang as many as we can hang on you because, hey, man, you're supposed to be the best in the world. You're supposed to be the best in the league. You're the champions, right? Don't look like champions to me.
I think that's one of the reasons why repeating as champion is so tough.
Insane.
And it hasn't actually been done that, only a handful of times in all of English history. And Arsenal haven't done it in anyone's lifetime. We did it in the 30s. In the 30s. And then we won 98-99 and then missed out for 2 seasons. Won 01-02, missed out the next season, and won 03-04. And then Jose came in, and and we couldn't do it. We couldn't do it the next season, but Jose did it.
Yeah,
he did it 4-5, and then 5-6.
Yeah.
And that's because when you only concede 15 goals in a season.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can do something similar this season.
It's hard, man, and so respect. So it looks like a new champion will be lifting up the trophy and putting some new ribbons on it. No idea.
Yeah, hey man, I'm not trying to get too far ahead of myself. I'm enjoying the moment right now. And I'm enjoying Liverpool in free fall. I'm enjoying, being able to say that right now, as it sits, we are the best team around. You
are the best team in the league for sure. I mean, in Champions League too, right? You guys are undefeated.
We're tied. We're tied for most wins in champs. We've no goals conceded, 3 wins.
Yeah.
Do I think if I look at the best teams in Europe, if we matched up right now, I think Bayern would probably give us a really stern test, and I think that. I think that Barcelona would as well, but I think we would score goals against Barcelona.
Well, I mean, it's funny you mentioned that. I was going to make a mention of the Clasico because that was a funny thing that I sent you guys in the chat because obviously Madrid won that game, right? And but I mean it looked different early compared to the way it finished, and it was funny because the whole Vinny Jr. situation is very confusing to me because I don't think he's a bad player. I think he's world class.
I think he's a fantastic player.
He's a world class football player, but
he's got a horrible attitude.
I don't see the results from it was sort of the point I made about that angry person. There's an aura around him of negativity, and I think there's an arrogance that is beyond his production,
Right.
And the funny thing is I think that's why I'm having a struggle understanding what the deal is, because I mean, okay, so he doesn't like how the manager, manages, but you literally start all the games. Like he plays them all the time, right?
Well, they're playing a 5-3-2. They're playing a wing back system because that's what Xabi Alonso does. That's what he does at Leverkusen. And so Vinny wants to play a true winger style, but they're playing Mbappe and him in a, one behind the other kind of system, and that's just not the way Vinny plays.
But it's weird because but here's the thing, it's not the way you play, but he keeps sticking you out there, which means he believes in you and you got an attitude with him. Like what? And it's weird because he complained about always being sub. Now he did make an apology, so credit to him. But I mean, how many apologies you gonna give? Like this, you can't keep giving apologies for these emotional off the cuff things, because as much as people hate on Cristiano Ronaldo for whatever his attitude or whatever, you never catch that from him. He doesn't do that. And if he has the attitude, he's producing, and he just wants to produce more. Like the man has literally played across the front, Messi. If Messi complains about anything, he produces. And so my issue with that is, like, we've seen Haaland pout around and do things on the field, but the dude, it's because his standard is I have to score. And if I have to adjust my game to do whatever to do it. But to be mad at the coach, a good coach that has shown a propensity to win, he's literally, I don't know if he's like legend status, but he is like for sure a Madrid guy. And
he's a legend at Madrid for sure.
Well, I mean, it's sort of in a sense.
They can probably those fans can probably separate playing career from managerial career now, because the standard is still
right, and that's what that's where I'm going. And so the thing is, like, okay, because he was a part of like some monster teams, and so while he for sure is in the team sheet, but do you call his name out first when you're talking about those teams? Not necessarily, but that's sort of. But he's literally a man of stature who's won everywhere on every level. So to believe that, and then he went to a place to dethrone in a historic manner one of the juggernauts of Europe, and you think you know better than him. I don't understand it, because the thing is that like Madrid was like, hey, because he's in a contract negotiation, and you're saying, well, we need you to act so and so because he wants his money. But here's the thing, and we know this in sports teams. It's harder to replace a player than a coach, especially a good player. So they tend to decide with the player. But like, there's so many good players in Madrid. Like, is he really, really willing to like say me or him with this guy? Because I don't know. I don't know if that's
he's not even the main guy. You're not even the main guy, bro. Mbappe is crushing it right now, and you are not putting up those numbers.
And Mbappe, like they're playing Mbappe unnaturally as well, like because he's
still killing it, and he's still killing it
because he's a football player. You know what I'm saying? Like you give me the ball. That's it's literally the elite player mentality. Just give me the ball, I'll make it work.
I'll make it happen. Yeah,
and it's not like they're not practicing. Like you're practicing these things, so you know what's going on. What do you mean? So I thought it was a very confusing thing.
He won the game.
On top of that,
they didn't beat Barca at all last season, but this season, at the first chance of asking, they won the game.
Not only did they win the game, when he was subbed, they were winning the game. I can understand if they was losing, they were winning when he went out the game.
Yeah,
I just thought that was weird, because then I'm like, okay, well, who would take him? Like, because I don't think Madrid is going to get rid of him, but say they get frustrated with him. I'm curious about what people think he would fit in, because I just feel like his attitude, he's a good player, very good player, but that attitude, man, I don't know if I would want him around like my youngest.
I would take him. Arteta, not in a million years.
Right. That's
not in a million years would Arteta take him.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, not ever would Arteta sign Vinicius, not ever.
And the thing is they're talking about like some Madrid players are complaining because because Xavi is a disciplinarian, whereas Ancelotti was like loosey goosey. Carlo Ancelotti had 4 Champions League at the time, and he could turn it on and off like this. Of course, he's loosey goosey. And in the middle of your midfield, you had Toni Kroos and Luka Modric. They'll do it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
come on.
What are you talking about? Those guys are not there anymore. So there's no way to believe that, but based on the season that Madrid had last year, there's no way they think that works.
Right.
So you got to bring a guy in that says, hey, man, we need discipline. Why? Because you have done nothing. And every year you got to go in with that mentality. We've done nothing. Now, when we win, we can talk our trash, but we've done nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's weird to see it because I'm curious. I mean, obviously teams will line up, but I think there's a fan base thing, which I think becomes sort of an unfair, possibly like cultural, racial thing that I think would get a tribute to him that's unfair. It's him. It's not about anything else. It's who he is because he's a very good football player and he expects certain things because they fell that way and now they're not falling that way. And so I just thought it was an interesting thing. Now, obviously, it's not Premier League, but he could end up there, right? And so you look and say, okay, what's the deal with this? Who would take a flyer on him? I think United would too, because United don't care who they bring into their team.
Yeah, United would definitely sign him.
They don't care.
For sure.
I just wanted to cover that because you mentioned whatever you mentioned, it made me think of Madrid.
Yeah, well, they are playing Liverpool on Wednesday.
That's why. That is exactly right.
But as far as Liverpool are concerned, I think it's very interesting to, and I do agree with what you're saying about Vinny, of course. But as far as Liverpool are concerned and Slot's concerned, two things. Firstly, where's your threshold? How many can he lose? Because if
he won the title, he's fine.
But what if they lose the next 3 games?
I still think he's fine because they won the title.
Fair enough.
And here's why, because Klopp is the formula. They watched what happened with Klopp and they said, hey, we bought these guys. We believe in that these guys came here for you. You'll work the system out. Now, if they go out and get smacked for the rest of the season, that's different. But if they lose games, I think he's fine the whole season. I don't think there's an issue there.
I think they're going to have to figure it out really quick in that midfield and in the defense. But it doesn't look good because Joe Gomez came in today and had a shocker. He's the backup. Like, he's the next guy after Van Dijk and Konate. And it's not looking good, man. And then the 4th guy is injured. So it's like, that's why Andy Robertson played center back today. So until they can figure out, until Slot realizes that he just needs to play a double pivot, man. You just need to put 2 defensive-minded players in front of your center backs. Do not let them play the ball in between Konate and Van Dijk. That's literally you literally told the whole league that that's what they should do in your interviews, your press conferences. You've told the league how to play against you. Now maybe you should mitigate against that. Just saying. Like when Brentford won the ball in the middle of the field, because Brentford absolutely bullied them in that midfield. One pass from Damsgaard was in behind the whole defense. Shot us 1-on-1, 2-0. And that's just commonplace. It's so easy to get at Konate. Crystal Palace should have been up 7-0 at Selhurst Park at halftime. The blueprint is just there. And if he plays like Szoboszlai has to play in the midfield. But see, that's the problem. Gravenberch is hurt as well. So they're going to get run through, man. Who are they going to play against Onana and McGinn and Morgan Rogers and Kamara? Like, who? Aston Villa's midfield, they went toe-to-toe with you guys. And there were moments where they were running through y'all like butter, like a hot knife through butter. Yeah. And the way Liverpool are moving in the defense, that could be a long day. That could be tough. Ollie Watkins is going to be licking his lips, man.
Well, it's funny. I sent you a thing. Like I just saw. Like this is funny because I didn't even know this was like. I've been busy today, so I wasn't on socials. But this tweet that Crystal Palace put out and is hilarious. Like before the game, like dude, man.
They did this before the game?
Yeah. This dude. That's funny. Like I mean the look on
Wow. Wow.
That's awesome.
Smart Gahey too, the defender that they were like trying to get. It's the guy they were trying to get to sign.
Bro, that's funny.
That is disrespectful, bro. That's awesome. And then they spanked them.
Hey man.
Then they rocked up and spanked them.
But hey, Pool is where Pool is, and they are the current Premier League champions, and hey, this wasn't a Premier League game. I guess that's the only sort of solace they can take. They didn't take a Premier League loss.
No, I think the solace, like inside the camp, the mentality will be, we played the kids, we played we got some minutes for some bit roles. Endo ran in circles, but he did get some minutes running in circles in the legs. McAllister was lost again, just lost. I don't know what, he's having a horrendous season, but they didn't play a strong team. Yes, it was a humiliating defeat. They haven't lost that bad at home since 1934 in any game, any competition. And so yes, there was that, but also they didn't. I think Slot had an eye on this week. Villa's going to be a horrendous game, and then obviously Mbappe's coming to town with Crybaby Jr. And then it's you guys. So I think he had an eye on it, and that's what in the back of his mind he'll be like, this one kind of okay because but if he doesn't figure it out, it's dark days, man. It's dark days.
I'm fine with it.
And I'm here for it. Yeah, absolutely. I'm absolutely fine with it.
I mean, I lived through it last year, so I know exactly what it is, man. So it's hey man, winning the title is hard, man.
Trust me. Yeah, I know.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I didn't do it personally. I watched it, but I can tell. I mean, I've coached and played and won stuff, so it's hard. Defending.
Well, that's why I say, man, that's why I was making the comment earlier, defending a title. That's why that your four-peat is crazy.
Oh, that's never happened in the game. And I really say never. That's never. The three-peat almost never happened again. So a four-peat.
That's only once. Yeah, only United have done that.
Yeah, that's never happened in the game.
Even in Arsenal's heyday in the 30s, we won two, skipped a year, won another, skipped a year, and won another. So we only did it once.
In addition to
back-to-back.
The winning that in England, winning the gamut of winning all the English trophies or winning a treble, that's not happening no time soon either. Those are hard to do.
Didn't y'all win a domestic quad?
Yeah, the year before they won the treble, they won all the domestic trophies.
All the domestic trophies, yeah.
Every one of them, all four.
Yeah.
Including the plate.
Right.
Those are hard, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't expect at all Arsenal to win 4 trophies this season.
But you should try for all 4.
But if you look at each tournament individually, how are we not favorites?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
How are we not favorites for every one of them? If we're the best team in England and we're Opta's and everyone else's favorites to win the Premier League 9 games in, and we're actually, I think we have the shortest odds to win the Champions League as well, according to the bookies.
Yep.
Quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup and last year's Premier League champions are out.
Mm-hmm.
If you really look at it on paper, you're the biggest competition left.
Yeah.
On paper, because you still have the holders, Newcastle, who are going to be really tough. Crystal Palace will be really tough to knock out of the tournament as well. And of course,
on the field.
Chelsea are a cup team. So
yep.
I'm not saying that we're definitely going to win.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not saying we're definitely going to win anything, but I'm saying how can we not at this moment, you know,
going to confidence. Yeah.
10:15 p.m. on October 29th, we're should be favorites for every trophy.
Fair enough.
You know, and hopefully that's the way that, you know, Arteta has the boys thinking and believing. You know,
this is the first step in it. This is like the first step. This is the hardest one.
Yeah,
it's okay. Now they expect it from us. You know, that's
that's the difference. That's the difference this season that I've thought about it. You know, I was talking to Lauren, I was telling Lauren about it this during the week. This is the first time in a long time that I'm not scared of anybody. I have mad respect for, you know, many teams still that we still have to play. I'm looking at that Bayern game and I'm thinking, whew, that is going to be a game and a half. That's going to be a tough team to beat. You know, we have to go to the San Siro this season to play Inter. That's going to be really, really tough. But I'm far more confident about those games than I would have been last season.
Yeah, because it's about what you've seen and the consistency that they've played with, and there's a degree of confidence. But in addition, it's been connected to your rant of it didn't look like Arteta was Mr. Coach Klein on the sideline. You know, either he found his green playbook or he wrote a new one.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the depth has given him more confidence to have the more attacking mentality and urgency that the team has shown since the Liverpool game, really. Since then, it's been eight straight wins. Have not conceded at all in any tournament, anything, you know. So, like I say, man, long may it continue. And if everything else continues in the vein that it has, you know, we'll be finally lifting something this season. But like you say, and like we always say, man, we're not even a quarter of the way in.
It's a long
statistically.
It ain't even cold outside yet. You know, it's not even properly cold on the field yet, man.
I mean, it's probably pretty cold.
Well, I mean, like the real cold where it's like snowing and stuff. Like,
yeah, it was rainy and 40 degrees here today. It was.
I'm talking about there. Like we haven't seen the like.
My point exactly. If it was rainy and 40 here, how cold was it in Wales? How cold? It was pouring down rain in Liverpool. I bet you that was miserable.
But I think I don't see the breath and the shivering yet. When we see that's when the festive period got you out there all the time in that.
Yeah.
That makes or breaks guys.
When they bring the orange ball out.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, anyway, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up right there. It's definitely been a good one, and we're definitely looking forward to the weekend games, as you say. If you've made it this far, of course, thanks for being here. Get the likes up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Get the notification bell on and hype it up. Do all that good stuff. Of course, we will be coming back at you on Wednesday. Don't forget to check out the blog posts as well every Monday. There is a link in the description. Check us out on socials as well. It's definitely been a good one. We will.
They should comment too. They for sure need to comment and give some banter. We talk back.
Leave some comments. Yeah, we'll respond to those. We'll definitely, if you do it live, we'll respond live. Get you up on the screen as well. Of course, we like the interactions. Yeah. So thanks again for being here, and we will see you next time.